We even hear from Grapevine, we heard that the former governor, now Minister of FCT, they are going ahead to plan. There is a calculated attempt to extend the supposed the said state of emergency that should ordinarily not last, even now as we speak. What the Solar Administration was sent to do, is it not to bring peace? There is absolute peace before he's coming, and it's still peaceful. Everywhere is peaceful, everywhere is working. So what they are supposed to do, is it not to restore our democracy, restore His Excellency and other arms? What we have now is despotism, government of just a few. Nobody is aware of what is happening in Rivers State. So what we are expecting is that by now they would have constituted a committee, people from different walks of life, and then call all the warring parties to a round table. You're seeing our so-called assembly members, they're in the UK. They are gallivanting in the UK. So it's their plan. They have a script they are practicing.
Okay, Chisholm. Now, after the Solar Administrator was named and appointed, we were told that the suspended funds for Rivers State were eventually released to the Solar Administrator. Now, the Solar Administrator has come up with an appropriation proposal, which he says he's going to use to embark on a number of capital projects. Well, appropriation is, an act. It's a law, or an act of Parliament. The Constitution provides in Section 11, sub 4, that the National Assembly can make laws for a state like Rivers. So you have to go through the National Assembly. That's the procedure spelled out in the Constitution. But do you think, which is the main issue, that this sole administrator that has been given an appointment for 6 months is now beginning to behave like he's a permanent authority that does not intend to live in 6 months? Do you get that impression? Is that your reading? Because you are in Port Harcourt there, and you are a stakeholder in this unfolding melodrama.
Yes, Dr. Abati, again, we're in the same wavelength. That's actually the calculated attempt I was talking about. There is a plan to extend it. They want to even incite problem before the end of this 6 months, as it were. They want to incite a problem that the president will make another pronouncement. And of course, if there's any extension whatsoever, it calls for the end of the administration. So if you see there's a school of thought in politics they call body language. If you see the body language, you know that this is a calculated attempt where they are setting aside all the subsisting projects, suspending board, parastatal agencies, doing all of that, going for budget presentation, even though it's enshrined in the Constitution, but someone that was sent to come and restore peace. Till now, what we're saying is they even planned also, because we're here, the practicability of whatever they are planning, we also get from the Grapevine. They even plan to institute a sole administrator at the local government level. All these are their calculated attempts. But I tell you what, we don't want to join issues.
Just a moment.
Because all this is to incite.
You keep saying they. Who are these they? The specific. Who are they?
They are very few. They are just
name them. Just identify them.
The former governor, the current minister of FCT, and his cohort and his goons. Yes, you know them. The former governor, the assembly members, the former chairman whose tenure elapsed, and the governor pronounced the caretaker, as it were, before the election of this former defunct local government chairman. So that's the people I'm talking about. We know them. The issue of Rivers State is between the former governor and the governor of Rivers State. And because he's seen they are more or less perplexed with the achievement of the governor, they want to distort the administration. So that, because between now, all these things is geared towards 2027, I'm sure you are aware. And we are dazzled that His Excellency will be meddling into this kind of matter when there are so many areas in Nigeria that has more burden issues, more pressing needs. People are dying. You just interviewed the former minister, Solomon Lalong. People are dying every day. There's no state of emergency, but in Rivers State, there's state of emergency where we never had anybody hurt.
Are you recommending a state of emergency in Plateau State?
No, not at all. I'm telling you where we have worst case scenario. Rivers State, people are going about their business. That's why you see every common person on the street is calling that His Excellency should rescind on his decision and call back the democracy we voted for. What we bargained for is democracy. What I'm saying, I'm just comparing with what you have elsewhere, where they have worst case scenario, and yet no pronouncement of a state of emergency. But Rivers State, that everything is seemingly better, especially for the youth. Just look at the scenario, the former government, and this is just like vicious circle and spiral circle. Those people, you see the nucleus of people they have around the former governor. There's nobody you say this is a youth that have been made from this government or been given opportunity. But today you have employment. The last employment we had was 2,000 medical practitioners. We had the other earlier one for Ignatius Ajuru, 1,000. We have 54 projects ongoing and completed by His Excellency the Governor. All this is happening within the framework of the 2 years.
All right, now,
or less than 2 years in office.
We know there's a number of groups taking legal action. Are you going to be taking any legal action to try and restore your governor back to his office, or are you just sitting at home and waiting it out? What's your plan of action?
Well, I'd like to thank Nigerians. I want to thank all the former presidents that have spoken out, the elder statesmen, stakeholders from different walks of life. I want to thank people. People have taken this thing by themselves. It's no longer a Siminala Efubara thing. It's about our democracy. It's about Rivers State, the soul of Rivers State. So people have gone to court. Several, the Governors Forum, PDP, different people, social, cultural groups, ethnic groups, they've all gone to court. I'm a member of the State Executive Council, so I can't be a judge in my own matter. I'm with the governor and we remain with the governor. But we know that if our judiciary is still the judiciary we are professing, well, we'll see how it pans out.
Okay, so yes, you're saying you can't be a judge. Cases are in court already. The PDP governors have gone to court and all of that. I'd like to ask you this question. How are you surviving with all of this? Because with this suspension, obviously, you don't get any pay. How are you being motivated? And I ask this deliberately because of what happened recently with another person in the fold of the state, which used to be like the head of service of the state, where there was some back and forth. His wife said, oh, he had been kidnapped. He said no. And in a couple of messages that were allegedly released, there was a conversation around sustenance and sustainability. But anyway, the head of service has said he did this because he wanted to expose corruption in the state. So how are you sustaining this one that there's no salary again? How are you living?
Well, Rufai, thank you so much. First, let me say that I always profess, because my ministry is youth development, I always talk to my youth to have a second address. Don't make politics an end in itself. Have another source of livelihood. And that is why you see these people are clinging to power. They don't want to leave power because they cannot have any office whatsoever to do any kind of business or work for anybody. But we, like I can tell you, is visible. You can go and find out. I am a farmer. I have a fish farm, elaborate fish farm. I'm also into hospitality. So I have second address, I have places, and that is why we can stand for the truth. Because one of the things they used to coerce, they said, well, a wise man said that the youth are easily deceived because they are quick to believe. They will coerce people because when they subject them to hunger, that's what they are doing to the entire Nigeria. When they subject you to hunger, you don't have any option than to fall to their gimmicks. But for us, we have another source of livelihood. We have a last resort. And then talking about the head of service, I can tell you, I had regard for him. He was most of the committees, some of the committees we served together, like the Federal Public Service Game the last time, early December. I was his secretary in like 2 subcommittees. And I wasn't surprised of that man coming. It's not about age. Scripture said the age of Methuselah has nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon. It's not about age. Most of these people you refer as elders, they are afraid of poverty because they've not worked for themselves. They don't have anything to return back to. Someone that worked for 35 years and you are recalled to come and serve your state, and you're saying that you're hungry. It's obvious.
No, but
what hunger can do.
So,
I tell you, the committees.
So real quickly,
the committees we served.
So,
sorry,
go
let
ahead.
me round up. The committees we served. I tell you, I don't want to mention money, but I know how much that was routed through his account, and I was the utility staff. I was the secretary. I'm a younger person. I was doing virtually everything. At the end of the day, other members of our committee, even other committees that worked part of our duties, the man confiscated the money, and till today, my colleague, the commissioner for sports, almost confronted him. I was the one that told him, calm down. He had to even call me and say, you're my son, take this, to calm me